If the Sagittarius in your life has started to feel restless around you, if the person who used to include you in every adventure, every idea, every wild plan, has started making those plans without you, stay here. Because a Sagittarius does not pull away with cruelty. They pull away with motion. They simply start moving in a direction that no longer includes you. And if you do not understand what that motion actually means, you will mistake their leaving for something it is not. Before we get into the 3 signs, you need to understand how a Sagittarius loves when they are fully in. Jupiter rules this sign, and Jupiter expands everything it touches. A Sagittarius in love does not just include you in their life. They expand your life. They take you places you would never have gone alone. They introduce you to ideas you would never have found. They make the world bigger by making you part of their adventure. A Sagittarius who is all in sees you as their partner in exploration. That is the baseline. When that exploration starts happening without you, something has changed. Here is the first sign. They become restless in your presence. Not bored exactly. Restless. A Sagittarius who is invested in you finds you stimulating. Your company is the adventure. When that shifts and they start checking their phone, looking at the door, or suggesting that the evening end earlier than it used to, their system is telling them that being with you no longer feels like expansion. It feels like containment. Here is what is happening. A mutable fire sign needs movement and growth in every relationship. When a Sagittarius feels that a relationship has become routine, predictable, or intellectually flat, their system registers it the same way your body registers oxygen deprivation. They need air. Not because you are suffocating them, but because the dynamic between you has stopped breathing. Here is what you can do. Surprise them. Not with a gift. With a side of yourself they have not seen. Share an opinion that is unexpected. Suggest something spontaneous. Bring genuine enthusiasm to something new. A Sagittarius does not need a perfect partner. They need an interesting one. Remind them that you are still someone they have not fully figured out. That mystery alone can reignite the restlessness into the right direction. Toward you instead of away from you. Here is the second sign. Their honesty becomes brutal instead of affectionate. A Sagittarius is always honest. That is non-negotiable. But the tone of their honesty changes depending on how they feel about you. A Sagittarius in love delivers truth with warmth. They tell you hard things because they care about you enough to be real. When that warmth disappears and the honesty starts to feel cutting, careless, or deliberately provocative, the love underneath the truth is fading. Here is what is happening. Jupiter gives a Sagittarius a natural generosity of spirit. When they are invested in you, that generosity softens their honesty into something that is direct but caring. When the investment fades, the generosity goes with it. And what remains is raw, unfiltered truth without any cushion. They are not trying to hurt you. They have simply stopped caring enough to package the truth in a way you can receive. The delivery tells you more than the content. If the truth comes with warmth, you are safe. If it comes without it, you are losing them. Here is what you can do. Do not retaliate against the harshness. That escalates into the kind of conflict a Sagittarius will use as a reason to leave. Instead, address the tone directly. Something like, I can hear that you are being honest with me and I value that. But the way it is landing feels different than it used to. What has changed? That question bypasses the content and goes straight to the emotional shift underneath it. And a Sagittarius who is confronted with an honest, non-defensive question about their behavior will almost always tell you the truth about what is driving it. Here is the third sign, and it is the clearest one. They start romanticizing their life before you. A Sagittarius who is fully invested does not look backward. They are the most forward-oriented sign in the zodiac. So when a Sagittarius starts talking about how great things were before the relationship, the trips they used to take alone, the freedom they had, the spontaneity of their single life, that backward gaze is the most unnatural thing a Jupiter-ruled person can do. And it tells you exactly where their mind is going. Here is what is happening. A Sagittarius who romanticizes their pre-relationship life is not actually missing the past. They are mourning the version of themselves that felt free. The relationship has started to feel like a net rather than a launch pad. And instead of naming that directly, they express it by idealizing a time when the net did not exist. Every story about their old adventures is a coded message. I felt more alive before this. I felt more like myself before this. That message does not mean they do not love you. It means the relationship has become something that contracts them instead of expanding them. And a Sagittarius cannot survive contraction. Here is what you can do. Do not get defensive about the past they are glorifying. Do not argue that your life together is better than what came before. That is a competition you will lose because they are not comparing facts. They are comparing feelings. Instead, create a moment that is undeniably better than any memory they are clinging to. Plan something that this single version of them could never have experienced. Show them that the relationship is not the end of adventure. It is the beginning of a bigger one. A Sagittarius who discovers that being with you produces experiences that surpass their best solo memories will stop looking backward. Because for the first time in a while, the future with you looks more exciting than the past without you. Here is the bigger picture. A Sagittarius who becomes restless in your presence, loses warmth in their honesty, and starts romanticizing their life before you is not someone who stopped loving you. They're someone who stopped growing with you. And for a Sagittarius, growth is love. The two are inseparable. If the relationship stopped growing, the love stopped flowing. The good news is that growth can be restarted at any point. A Sagittarius is mutable. They are adaptable. They are responsive to genuine newness. But it has to be real. A Sagittarius can detect a performance from across the room. Be genuinely interesting. Be genuinely spontaneous. Be genuinely willing to grow alongside them instead of anchoring them to what has already been. That is how you keep a Sagittarius. Not by holding them in place, by running with them. Please remember that this video is for entertainment and personal reflection purposes only. It is not a substitute for professional relationship advice. Every relationship is unique, and if you are experiencing serious difficulties, please consider speaking with a qualified professional who can offer personalized guidance. If this resonated with you, drop in the comments which of the 3 signs you recognized the moment you heard it. Save this video so you can come back to it when you need clarity. Thank you for being with Stars Aligned. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a blessed day. You got this.